Leviticus 27, the final chapter of the book of Leviticus. What a great book it has been, truly. Now, this has to do with vows that people would make, as well as the redeeming cost of the things the persons vowed. The Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When a man shall make a singular vow, the person shall be for the Lord, by thy estimation. Now let's preface this really quickly. A person can be vowed. This chapter deals with things that are given to God by vow. That means they were not required by a command of the law, but the vow was a freely promised and given gift to God. In this case, in this first instance at least, it deals with persons that were promised to the Lord in a vow. For example, a man from the tribe of Judah, in a time of distress, out of gratitude or out of a sense of calling, might want to consecrate his son to the Lord. He could not give his son, being of the tribe of Judah, he could not give his son to the service of the tabernacle that was reserved for the Levites, because he was not a priestly family. So to consecrate his son, he would follow the procedures in the following verses. And thy estimation shall be of the male from 20 years old, even unto 60 years old. Even thy estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary. And if it be a female, then thy estimation shall be 30 shekels. And if it be from 5 years old, even unto 20 years old, even thy estimation shall be of the male 20 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. And if it be from a month old, a little baby, unto 5 years old, then thy estimation shall be of the male 5 shekels of silver, and for the female thy estimation shall be 3 shekels of silver. And if it be from 60 years old and above, if it be a male, then thy estimation shall be 15 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. But if he be poorer than thy estimation, then he shall present himself before the priest, and the priest shall value him. According to his ability that vowed, shall the priest value him. And if it be a beast, whereof men bring an offering unto the Lord, all that any man giveth of such unto the Lord shall be holy. He shall not alter it, nor change it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. And if he shall at all change beast for beast, then it and the exchange thereof shall be holy. And if it be any unclean beast, of which they do not offer a sacrifice unto the Lord, something that you couldn't offer, obviously, for a sacrifice, then he shall present the beast before the priest. And the priest shall value it, whether it be good or bad, as thou valuest it. Who art the priest, so shall it be. But if he will at all redeem it, if he comes back and decides that he wants it back, then he shall add a 5th part thereof unto thy estimation. However much the priest deemed it, then he's to add 20% onto that price. But let's give just a little bit more info on the background of what's happening with these vows. Whenever they're brought to the priest, they're valued. Whilst anyone else could purchase the animal at the valuation put upon it by the priest, its former owner is to pay a 5th more than the valuation price. This was probably intended as a fine for taking back a thing which he promised to the Lord. And the sense of this, as we've went over in Leviticus so many times, whenever someone was to bring a beast and they wanted meat, they would bring it as an offering unto the Lord. Whenever someone is making a vow, they bring it there, and then you see dealings. People can come and buy whatever was vowed, and then that money would go into the tabernacle, and it would go to the priest, because that was their job. The congregation had to provide for the priest. They had no other job except ministers unto the Lord. So we see basically all of the willings and dealings in a general sense the Lord wanted a part of. He's their king, so he wants to be involved in the matters that they have going on. And when a man shall sanctify his house to be holy unto the Lord, then the priest shall estimate it, whether it be good or bad, as the priest shall estimate it, so shall it stand. And if he that sanctified it, or vowed it unto the Lord, if he that sanctified it will redeem his house, then he shall add the 5th part of the money of thy estimation unto it, and it shall be his. And if a man shall sanctify unto the Lord some part of a field of his possession, then thy estimation shall be according to the seed thereof, however fruitful that the land is, truly. Shall be according to the seed thereof. A homer of barley seed shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver. Charles Ellicott noted at this point, these 50 shekels covered the value of the produce for the whole period of 49 years. Now we're talking about all the way up until the Jubilee. That is from one Jubilee to another. so that a plot of land of the dimensions here described was estimated at a little more than 1 shekel per year. The person who made the vow could, under these circumstances, always redeem it. The low value put upon it was evidently designed not to deprive the family of their means of subsistence, since the patrimonial estates were almost always the only source of their livelihood. Verse 17, if he sanctify his field from the year of Jubilee, according to thy estimation, it shall stand. And really, these lands, animals, houses, these things, they could be sold, and that money went into the priest and into the tabernacle, the upkeep of it. So this was people in whom they may not have money, but they do have possessions, which was very common back then. And that's the reason for these ordinances being laid out. But if he sanctify his field after the Jubilee, then the priest shall reckon unto him the money according to the years that remain, even unto the year of the Jubilee, and it shall be abated from thy estimation. And if he that sanctified the field will in any wise redeem it, then he shall add the 5th part of the money of thy estimation unto it, and it shall be assured to him. And if he will not redeem the field, or if he have sold the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed any more. But the field, when it goeth out in the Jubilee, shall be holy unto the Lord, as a field devoted. The possession thereof shall be the priest. And if a man sanctify unto the Lord a field which he hath bought, which is not of the fields of his possession, that means the land allotted to him by the Lord, then the priest shall reckon unto him the worth of thy estimation, even unto the year of Jubilee. Now, he's allowed to have this land that he bought that wasn't part of his that was allotted to him at the time of Joshua later on. He was allowed to own the land, grow crops and everything upon that land, but at the time of Jubilee, he shall give thine estimation in that day as a holy thing unto the Lord. In the year of the Jubilee, the field shall return unto him of whom it was bought, even to him to whom the possession of the land did belong, and all the estimations shall be according to the shekel of the sanctuary, 20 gerahs shall be the shekel. Only the firstling of the beast, which should be the Lord's firstling, these belong to the Lord anyway, no man shall sanctify it, whether it be ox or sheep, it is the Lord's. Guzik once again commented, since the firstborn already belonged to God, because of what happened in Egypt, the firstborns, he declared in Exodus 13, that all firstborn of man and beast are his. They belong to God. It was not allowed to give it to the Lord in a vow. If the firstborn animal was a clean animal, like a cow, ox, sheep, goat, if it was a clean animal, it had to be sacrificed. And if it be of an unclean beast, then he shall redeem it according to thy estimation, and shall add a 5th part of it thereto. Or if it be not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to thy estimation. Notwithstanding, no devoted thing that a man shall devote unto the Lord of all that he hath, both of man and beast, and of the field of his possession, shall be sold or redeemed. Every devoted thing is most holy unto the Lord. None devoted, which shall be devoted of men, shall be redeemed, but shall surely be put to death. So what are these things devoted? They're obviously different than what an Israelite might be able to bring forth. But notice right here, it's not devoted by men. These things are devoted of men, meaning already devoted. Matthew Poole commented on this very fine distinction right here, devoted of men, not by men, as some would allude it, but of men. For it is manifest both from this and the foregoing verses that men are here not the persons devoting, but devoted to destruction, either by God's sentence as idolaters, the Canaanites, etc. And especially in this case, devoted stands for banned or cursed, like the people of Canaan. These men cannot be redeemed. You cannot pay a price for them. They are already set. Their iniquity has reached its full. They cannot be redeemed. And if a man will at all redeem aught of his tithes, he shall add thereto the 5th part thereof. And concerning the tithe of the herd or of the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod. Now, right here's the very important distinction with this tithe. Even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, the 10th shall be holy unto the Lord. And what this is talking about is whenever they would line cattle up, they would have a rod set over it, set over these cattle to make sure that they are lined up. And in this manner, they would have to mark the 10th. Every 10th one they'd have to mark. This would make it to where they couldn't distinguish between the best and kind of the second best and the third best of their cattle. They couldn't cheat the Lord out of anything. All of these holy unto the Lord. Now, this may seem like a very strange verse. How can you redeem your tithes? How can you buy back money that you've already dedicated? Well, that's the thing. They weren't dedicating just money back then, because once again, their possessions were their money. That's how they traded and stuff. Tithes could also be redeemed or bought back from the Lord. For example, instead of tithing good seed from his field, a farmer could pay the value of the seed plus 20%. Now for the final verse of the book of Leviticus. He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. These cattle don't try to nitpick. And if he change it at all, then both it and the change thereof shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. If you try to cheat the Lord, you can't redeem it. And there you have it, my dear friends, the book of Leviticus. This actually completes our studies on the Torah, the Pentateuch, the 5 books of Moses. We've also completed that of all the prophets, both the major and the minor prophets. Hopefully, Lord willing, we'll be getting into the book of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, very soon. I thank you all for joining me. God of all peace be with you, and amen.